Hey everybody, Moarhammer here, and I've got another battle report for you. This is a 2,000 point battle with my Tzeentch demons against Ironjawz. It was the same Ironjawz army I was played a couple of games ago as my Khorne, and he's back for a go against the Tzeentch. So it was a really good game and a really tough one. I'll give a bit of a disclaimer right now. I was really concentrating in this game. It was really difficult. So I did actually totally fluff and miss taking some pictures. But I can still talk you through it and basically give you an idea of what happened. And it's not too bad, so just a disclaimer. And if you're not aware from my previous battle report, I have a new podcast. It's out and available on iTunes now. It's called Through the Realm Gate, and it's really good fun. It's Age of Sigmar based, and we talk about a whole manner of narrative games as well as sort of some match play aspects. It's really good fun. So, my list, I've got a Change Host, exactly the same as the last game. Change Host, the Lord of Change with Phantasm weapon, but he's not my general. And then I've got a Herald on Burning Chariot. He is my general. He's got the Demon Spark command trait for a potential extra damage against monsters. When he's fighting monsters, he becomes actually a bit of a killing machine. And he's also got the Wellspring of Arcane Might for additional rerolls for casting. Then I've got the Blue Scribes. He's pretty great. His spell for reroll is just fun. And then I've got the Changeling for shenanigans, so kind of the plan is to swap stuff over in the first turn, and they can start tying stuff up, which is quite fun. Then I've got 2 units of 10 horrors. They're just kind of there for battle line, but they're also quite good at just doing stuff, casting spells and a little bit of shooting. Then I've got a unit of 6 Screamers. They don't do a whole lot, especially against Ironjawz, so they weren't the best in this game, but actually that's not true, but I'll get onto that. Then I've got a Burning Chariot, my third battle line, because my Herald in the Burning Chariot is the general. And these guys are great, they're fast, they're shooty, and they're even a little bit combating, so I like them. And then I've got a unit of 3 Flamers. Still not convinced about these guys, but I'm still giving them a go, so they're around as well, and they're going to be shooting stuff. So, this is a picture of deployments. We are playing Blood and Glory, so the second mission in the General's Handbook, where you've got the 4 objectives, and if you claim all of them turn 3 afterwards, you automatically win. Otherwise, it's whoever has the most at the end of the game. On my side, starting on the far left, I've got the Blue Scribes, behind which are the pink horrors. Then I've got my Herald and Burning Chariot and the 3 Flamers. In front of that's the Lord of Change. The reason he's there is because about 27 inches away from him was the Changeling in my opponent's table half. You can kind of see him right in the middle. Then on the right side, I've got a Burning Chariot, 6 Screamers, and another unit of 10 horrors. My basic idea, and then on his side, he's got, starting on the far left, he's got a unit of 6 Gore Grunters, behind which is a unit of 5 Brutes. He's got 2 War Chanters, a Mega Boss, and a Weird Knob kind of all clustered together there. Then just to the right of them, in the centre, is just 25 Brutes. It's just terrifying. Oh, it's such a scary army to fight. But my kind of idea was, I wanted to shoot off as many of his characters as possible, clog them up with the Changeling, move across the side of the board and just pepper him with stuff until turn 3 when I could hopefully grab all 4 objectives. That's kind of all I was hoping for. So I do take the first turn because I had a plan. And the first thing I do is I swap over my Changeling for the Pink Horrors. And the idea was my Pink Horrors were within 3 inches of 25 Brutes, or at least the 3 units that it was spread out upon. And that meant that in the combat phase, he'd have to pile in with them, he'd attack, he'd kill all the Pink Horrors, I'd split them into Blue Horrors, and he'd be tied up in his first turn, which is fantastic. I also summoned a Herald of Tzeentch. You can see him kind of on the left-hand side in the middle of the board, and he instantly used Pink Fire of Tzeentch and Bolt of Tzeentch to shoot off both his War Chanters, which is fantastic. Really good showing from him there. Other than that, not a whole lot happens. I do a little bit of shooting with my Burning Chariot, but I don't do anything. And other than that, I just move stuff kind of more over to the right-hand side, away from his angry pigs and all that. My Screamers scream right up onto the right-hand side in the middle of the board. They're just going to kind of sit there until they were needed. In the combat phase, his his Brutes pile in, murder all the Pink Horrors, and I split them all into Blue Horrors. And here they are, tying up his entire army. So we go into his turn. And he does do some stuff. Because of where I summoned my Herald and where my Blue Horrors are, he was actually really limited to how far he could move with all his stuff, so he didn't actually get that much movement in. I mean, it's great by me, so yay. But other than that, not a whole lot happens, so that was pretty good. This picture is just his hero phase move. Then his normal move, he goes like this, piles into some more. This Gorgrunters has managed to charge into the Herald of Tzeentch. And then, so we go to the combat phase. His brutes attack the blue horrors and wipe them all out. Unfortunately, I had no brimstone horrors at this point, so I didn't have any in my bag painted, so I couldn't use them. And then his Gorgrunters managed to murder the herald. So that was that. And as long as he didn't win the double turn there, I think I'd be fine. But fortunately, I do win it. So again, sorry, this is a part actually where I forget to take a picture. But basically, I move my stuff around to the right-hand side. I swap over my burning chariot for the pink horrors, and they get placed down within 3 inches of the Gorgrunters, again, just to tie them up. Other than that, I shoot a couple of brutes off. I kill about 4 of them, which is not a bad showing, but there is one left. You can see him in the middle. And yeah, other than that, not a whole lot happens. I don't manage to kill any more of his characters. I do kill a Gorgrunter with some spells, I think, so that wasn't too bad. But ultimately, I was kind of just keeping back a little bit just to do the stuff. That remaining brute as well does actually pass his battle shock, so that was okay. In the combat phase, nothing really happens. He does kill a couple of pink horrors, but I ended up using one of my destiny dice to roll a 1 for them to bring d6 back, and I get them all back, so that's fantastic. And we go to his turn. So he just comes forward in a wave. The unit at the back is kind of wrapping around to the right-hand side to claim that objective. And in the middle, he kind of just piles all his brutes, as many as he can, into the units there. So he charges the 3 flamers and the burning chariot. He manages to get a total of 15 brutes into all of them, which was brutal. Whee! Unsurprisingly, he manages to kill the burning chariot with relative ease. I pile with my pink horrors, and I do absolutely nothing with them, which is fun. Then he attacks with his Gorgrunters. I managed to kill a bunch of pink horrors, but he doesn't kill that many. Again, I use for my destiny dice to bring back another d6, and I end up getting all 10 back, so that was really fun. And he doesn't actually manage to kill the remaining flamer with his brutes. I forgot to take a picture of that. I'm sorry. So we go to the initiative roll into the 3rd turn, and obviously, unknown to him, I realised I might actually be able to win the game here if I won the initiative roll. Unfortunately, I don't win it, he wins it. And he also sees the same thing too, which wasn't great. So he flees with his Gorgrunters on the left-hand side, away towards his objective to make sure that's controlled. His War Chanter uses his, on the left-hand side, not the War Chanter, sorry, the Weird Knob Shaman, uses his Destruction move to go within 3 inches of the Changeling to reveal him. And on the right-hand side, the unit of 10 brutes moves across to that objective to make sure they've got that down as well. In the middle, everything was a little bit tied down by the flamer. He didn't flee. He didn't really need to. He knew he could just sit there and kind of be okay with it. He'd kill the flamer, then he'd be okay to lash out everything else. Other than that one single brute who does actually end up charging towards the Lord of Change. So, yeah, the brute charges the Lord of Change, and the Weird Knob is in combat with the Shaman. Over here, against the flamer, they managed to finish him off, no surprises there. And his Shaman does nothing to the Changeling, but does take 2 or 3 wounds back in return from the Changeling. So that's actually a pretty good show. Quite happy with that. And then my Lord of Change manages to step on the brute. He had like 1 wound left. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. Not surprising. So again, sorry, here's where I forgot to take a picture. It's kind of the important one that I just forgot. We go to my turn, and I do manage to win the game here. Now I'll take you back to this picture, and I'll just run you through how exactly that happened. On the left-hand side, he's got 5 Gorgrunters. On the left-hand side, he's got 5 Gorgrunters. On the right-hand side, he's got 10 brutes guarding the objectives, and I hold the other 2 objectives. So all I need to do is take those. So what I did is with my Lord of Change, I cast some spells at the big unit of brutes and killed a bunch of them. And then I swapped over my Screamers for my Pink Horrors. The Pink Horrors used a Destiny dice of a 5 to basically run towards the objective and get more models within 6 inches of them than there were brutes. And exactly the same thing happened with the Screamers on the other side. I could run them over the top of the Gorgrunters and get all 6 Screamers within 6 of the objective, and he only had 5 of his Gorgrunters. So with the 6 against the 5 of the Screamers and the 10 against the handful of brutes, there's like 6 or 7 brutes on the other objective, I scored that one. I scored both of them, which means I hold all 4, which means there's an instant victory. which was a difficult... It was tough. But there you have it. That's the end of the game. Really weird game because, to be honest, not a whole lot died. I killed a total of like 7 of my opponent's models, and he killed a bunch of mine. But that's kind of how this army worked. The point of this army is it tries to shut down synergy, and then pick off the bits that I need to, and then score objectives. So that's how it worked. And it worked fantastically. The change shows, the swapping stuff was really, really helpful in that mission. So I think the army is quite strong in Blood and Glory, which is great. Quite enjoyed that. So yeah, other than that, not a whole lot happened. Like I said, so yeah, I did enjoy. The flamers were a bit lackluster. I just don't think they really do much, and they've got to be within range of a Tzeentch hero to really be as useful as they can be, and it's kind of sometimes it's just not possible. And then, yeah, so I might try and swap my flamers out for an exalted flamer, so he's still got a bit of shooting, but it frees up 80 points for whatever I want else, which is quite a decent amount of points. So I might try that. Pink Horrors did quite well, just because they held up stuff, and using Destiny Dice of 1 for Battle Shock is just outrageous, and he killed so many Pink Horrors, but they just didn't die. So I was quite appreciative of that. Alright, well that's just about it. Thanks very much for listening, guys, and I'll see you again soon for another battle report. Cheers, bye.